Hey, Luke here with CatsandCarp.com, and I'm reviewing 7 of the most affordable catfishing rods on the market. Okay, for those of you who've been watching my channel, you know that I've been doing an ultimate catfishing rod review series, and I've got about 24 catfishing rods, and I'm reviewing them one by one and in groups, and going through and telling you all the different features. And right now I'm going to talk to you about 7 of the most affordable catfishing rods out there. I've been out fishing with these 7 rods for the last month, and I've got to catch some nice catfish on them and really get a feel for each one of them. And so I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons, which ones I would buy and when. So without further ado, let's get started. These 7 rods here, I got them in order of cheapest to most expensive here. So starting, we've got the Bass Pro Shop Cat Buster for $25, the Meathunter for $25, the King Kat from Cabelas for $29, the Ugly Stick Catfish Rod for $39, the Rippin' Lips for $39, the Ugly Stick GX2 for $39, and the BnM Silver Cat for $46. Price is of course important, but you shouldn't forget shipping. Many of these rods you can buy in brick and mortar stores, but it's hit and miss. So like the Ugly Sticks you can find pretty much anywhere, but the Meathunter is a really hard rod to find in stores. Buying it online will cost you about $20 in shipping. The Cabelas in the Bass Pro Shop rods, they have a deal where if you buy X number of dollars from their store, they'll do free shipping. And a couple of these rods you can get from Amazon.com and get free shipping there as well. So if you can't find these rods in brick and mortar stores, don't forget shipping's going to be a factor. I should also point out that there's a lot of very cheap rods that are not here today. You go to Walmart's discount bin or you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, there's always some catfishing rod and reel combo on sale. Usually about $20 to $30 can get you a rod and reel combo. These rod and reels have different names and different paint jobs, but they're all very similar. They all have plastic reel seats, EVA foam handles, the same eyelets, the same materials, usually the same length and stats, and they're okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I own a couple of them and I still use them every now and then. These are specifically catfish rods from name brand stores, so I've kind of limited my review a little bit. But if 25 bucks for just a rod is too rich for your blood, don't be afraid to go to Walmart's discount bin and get a $19 rod and reel combo. There's nothing wrong with that. And I've got a great video where I take 50 bucks and I buy 3 rod and reel combos from Walmart, plus bait, tackle, pliers, and I go out and show you how you can catch tons of catfish with super cheap rods. All right, so let me tell you about some of the highlights from this grouping. First off, I gotta say my personal favorite is the BnM Silver Cat, okay? I really just like this rod. Price aside, I just like this rod. If you were to line up the 24 rods that I'm reviewing, everything from the $170 St. Croix down to the $25 rod, this would be top of my list for one of my personal favorite rods. I love the action. It's a very even through action. It's consistent. It's got a soft action. It's got good length to it, excellent casting distance, and it's got this super awesome paracord wrapped handle that's kind of unique. Only it and the Meathunter have this handle. The looks on it are awesome. It's got a high vis tip so you can see what's going on at night a little bit better. It's just physically, it's a light rod. I hooked into a pretty decent size flathead on this rod, and it handled it pretty well. But you catch little 3-4 pound channel catfish and it's fun, okay? And I'm a guy who I catch mostly channel catfish, and then every once in a while I'll nail a big blue catfish, a big flathead. So having a rod that's fun with little fish but can still handle big fish is a big deal for me. I would enjoy this from bank or from boat. It's got good distance, so it's a good bank fishing rod. But if you're targeting channel catfish, or if you're targeting smaller blue catfish, anything from, you know, the 4 or 5 pound range up to the 20, maybe 30 pound range, this is a good rod. It throws about 2 to 3 ounces of lead and bait ideally, but you can go up to 4 ounces in a pinch. Probably the biggest gem in this whole group though is the Rippin' Lips. While I have more of an emotional reaction to the BnM Silver Cat, I gotta say objectively, this Rippin' Lips is fabulous. It's a 2-piece, 7.5 foot rod, high vis tip, EV foam handle, plastic reel seat, 39 bucks, and this is a serious catfishing rod. I could see myself going after 50-pound catfish with this sucker, and I wouldn't be worried about it at all. It's also got the sensitivity to reel in little channel cats and it not be just absurd. Okay, I've caught probably 3 or 4, 5 to 10 pound channel cats on this rod since I started testing it, and it was fun. It wasn't super overkill. It wasn't the most sensitive rod for fish that size, but it wasn't unpleasant. Okay, it throws lead probably the best of every rod here. It's the best casting rod. You get the best distance off it. Handles 4 to 6 ounces pretty well. I'd say 4 to 5 being ideal. It's got no inserts. These are all metal eyelets, so that's a durability issue there that I like. It's got a hook for a hook keeper. This rod feels like a $60, $70 fishing rod. I could see a serious cat fisherman who does tournaments maybe, but's on a budget, putting 6 of these in his boat and fishing for some big river cats with this. That wouldn't be absurd. It's for the price, it's just an awesome rod. And when you compare the value you're getting with this rod at the price, it's just, I mean, it's just no comparison. The only reason why I wouldn't buy this rod in this price range is if you're targeting smaller fish. Okay, this is really a big fish rod for throwing big leads and catching bigger catfish. I'd say if you're hunting 20 to 50 pounders, this is it. Bank fishing or boat fishing, great rod. But not all of us are doing that. A lot of us are just out happy to go catch a 3-4 pound catfish. This would be overkill. But if you're hunting big boys, man, that's a great value. Now let me talk to you about these 3 rods. This is the Bass Pro Shop Cat Buster, the King Kat from Cabelas, and the Ugly Stick Catfish rod. They are very similar. They're the same length, they're similar color schemes, same handle, same reel seat, really similar eyelets. The Ugly Stick's made out of slightly better material and is slightly thinner, but it's not a difference you readily notice. It's a subtle difference. This one's $25, this one's $29, and this one's $40. The price difference between this Ugly Stick and these other 2 isn't justified by the difference in build quality. I just don't. I think it's just playing off of Ugly Stick's brand name recognition. And these are all really similar rods, and frankly they're very similar to the $19, $20 rod and reel combos you get at Walmart in the discount bin. I've just seen dozens and dozens of cheap no-name brand rods that look really similar, and that's not to badmouth these. There's nothing wrong with those rods. It's just saying these aren't unique rods. You're all getting kind of the same generic thing. If you're really in a pinch for money, the Cabelas and the Bass Pro Shop come as combos, and for like 10 bucks more or 15 bucks more you can get a reel with the rod. So that makes it a pretty decent deal. You get the rod and the reel combo. This Meathunter is a interesting rod. Okay, it's got great casting distance. It's got that paracord wrapped handle that I like. I like the paint job. I like the high vis tip. Sturdy, all metal eyelets, so nothing to break on there. Very hard to break. 25 bucks. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And this thing throws 4 to 6 ounces pretty well. So if you're bank fishing and you need good distance and you need to throw large baits like live bluegill and a couple ounces of lead, that sort of thing, this will do it at a very affordable price. The 2 big drawbacks to this rod are, one, that it has almost zero sensitivity. It is a bit of a broomstick. Okay, you catch channel catfish on it and you barely even feel them. The other issue is that it's a small company and it's only sold regionally. It's hard to find this rod in brick and mortar stores, and if you buy it online you're going to pay $20 in shipping, even for the 2-piece model. if you can buy this rod and you can, without having to pay shipping, it's a good deal, okay? For big catfish from the bank, throwing big leads, not a bad deal. However, when you take in the shipping and factor that in, and then you start looking at the sensitivity issues, the Rippin' Lips kind of does the same thing for about $14 more, and it does it better. So, you know, I think unless you are really tight for cash, I would go with the Rippin' Lips for 14 bucks more. But if you can buy this in a store without paying shipping, and you're on a budget and you don't mind the sensitivity issues, hey, it's a great rod. Good looking rod too. The Ugly Stick GX2 and I have a complicated relationship. One of my most popular videos is me taking a medium powered GX2 and like towing my boat with it and deadlifting chainsaws and crap. These are notorious for being super duper strong, but being strong isn't the most important feature in the world. Ugly Sticks are decent rods, they're just overhyped. Okay, the people who love them think they're the cheapest rod in the world, they think they're the best rod in the world, and they're not. They're a good rod that's affordable. But as you can see, there's much cheaper rods on the market, okay? And the strength isn't particularly a big deal. Sure, this can deadlift 30 pounds, but this reel only has 20 pounds of drag, so what's the point? So strength isn't the biggest deal. And Ugly Sticks are notorious for being soft in the tip and stiff in the body, which I don't particularly like. It also affects casting distance. This is the worst rod in the group for casting. I get the worst distance off this rod, hands down. But that being said, it's the lightest rod in this collection. In the hand, it's just really light. You throw on a light bait casting reel, this is a really fun, light catfishing rod, and it's got the beef to handle big fish. Tommy reeled in his personal best channel catfish, 12 pounds on this sucker. It was a great fight, okay? The rod bent a lot, but I could tell this rod had plenty left to give. I think this could handle 30-pound catfish without much fuss. So it's a light rod, it's a good-looking rod, and it handles the range of fish okay. Is it the best deal? No. But it's a $40 rod. It's the high end of what I would call an affordable rod. And for $6 more, I could get the BnM Silver Cat, and I love that rod. Well, hopefully this gave you something to think about next time you're in the market shopping for a catfishing rod. I could see myself buying any of these rods. They all have some really awesome, unique qualities to them. And so depending on what you want, there's something here for you. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing some awesome rod giveaways here very shortly. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that and click the little bell button next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I post my videos. Additionally, I've been having a lot of people ask me about my t-shirts and where to get these fishing t-shirts and the catfish and carp shirts and mugs and hats and stuff. So I'm going to put a link in the video description to where you can buy those as well. Thanks for watching. We put out new videos twice a week, so don't forget to click subscribe.